your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions create your actions, and your actions create your results. So your inner world creates your outer world. Say that with me, please. Your inner world creates your outer world. Thank you. And thoughts and emotions, are those inner or outer? Inner, right? And actions and results are outer. So awareness is a type of intelligence. Awareness is a type of intelligence, is a consciousness. Listen to every word, every sound you can hear in this room for the next 5 seconds. And everybody had about 5 seconds of consciousness. 5 seconds of being awake. But the average brain thinks about 800 words per minute, loses its attention 6 to 10 times per minute. 75% of what the average brain thinks is negative, non-supportive thoughts. And being aware of what you think, because our thoughts become habituated. Literally, they automate. Our brain wants to run us. Our brain's primary purpose is survival. And when we wake up in the morning, our brain goes on automation. Everybody in this room has a limited vocabulary. Some of us are blessed with having a couple languages, so we have a couple different vocabularies, but basically there's a limited amount of words. And you think with those same words day after day after day after day. And so what happens is there's only so many possibilities of words. And what happens is our thinking, our thoughts become habitual, our emotions become habitual, and our actions become habitual, and our results become habitual. So when I say everybody has a radio station, everybody runs at a frequency. And the higher your frequency, the higher your awareness. The lower your frequency, the lower your awareness. Does that kind of make sense? So what happens is within this room, you add up everybody's frequency, you add up your frequency and divide it by the number of people in the class, and that becomes the frequency of the room. Does that make sense? So we're all this addition of this number. We're a mathematical number, and the environment wants us. The environment wants to own us. So what happens at the moment of consciousness, well, one of the things we can do is we use our emotions as a compass. As a what, everybody? Compass. So if I'm angry, I say, what am I thinking? Say that with me. What am I thinking? If I'm depressed, I say, what am I thinking? Everybody please. What am I thinking? If I'm sad, I say, what am I thinking? Say that with me. What am I thinking? And we think a different thought. We think a higher thought. We think a better thought. We think a better thought, a higher thought, any thought to change the way we're patterning our thinking. You think a higher thought, you have a higher emotion, you have a much higher action and a much better result in your life. So what it requires us to do is to rewire our brains. What does it require? Rewiring our brains. Literally to train our brains to think in a different way. Because what I'm after, and this is a mixed group, so I hope I'm speaking the language of most, I believe I am, is we want to create a new type of a human being where we're half soul and half human. Half soul, half human, where we have the ability to integrate our heart consciousness with our biological brain consciousness. And we're creating this new integration of this higher consciousness because when we're habituated and automated, we're kind of in a form of unconsciousness. We're kind of in a form of a sleep. But when we learn to be aware of our thoughts and aware of our habitual thoughts, and at the moment of choosing to think a higher thought is the moment of consciousness. The moment we flip the switch. The moment I say, whoa, I'm angry. What am I thinking? No, I'm not going to think that thought. I'm going to think about what I'm thankful for. I'm going to think about what I'm grateful for. I'm going to think about somebody I love. I'm going to think about something good. Anything instead of this thought that keeps on cropping up in my consciousness. Because people are electromagnetic devices. And what we do is we vibrate, I vibrate, and we attract things to us. We attract people that are like us. We attract instances. Like matter attracts like matter. Say that with me.
Like matter attracts like matter.
So there's a magnetics. And we don't attract everything to us, but I believe we attract some things to us. We attract some things to us as cause and effect. Say that with me.
Cause and effect.
It's micro, macro. Say that with me.
Micro, macro.
So me and my good friend Eric here, we work in the car business. Car salesman, good or bad reputation. Oh, what about me? And I'm trying so hard. And so what happens is it's cause and effect. So say I'm a good person, and I'm working super hard, and I treat my customers better than they've ever been treated by anybody before in their entire life. That's pretty positive cause, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give them a Bizarro George experience. But I'm in the car business. The car business has created a cause, and we feel the what? Effect. And the country has created an economic cause, and I feel the what?
Effect.
And the globe has created a cause, and I feel the what? Effect. So I'm part of the globe, I'm part of the country, I'm part of the car business, but I don't have a cumulative effect on the larger causes, but the one thing I can control is what? Myself. I can control myself. So the best way to make the planet healthy is to make yourself healthy. I am healthy. Say that with me.
I am healthy.
And the healthier we make ourselves, the healthier the planet becomes. The less bitter we become, and the better we become, the healthier everything becomes. And what happens is awareness is the first key to change, and if we're not aware of what's going on, we cannot do anything about it. But if you're aware of what's going on, at least you have a chance to do something about what's going on in your life. Because ultimately, I am a warrior. Say that with me.
I am a warrior.
I am a warrior for positivity. Say that with me. I am a warrior for positivity. I am a warrior for good. Say that with me.
I am a warrior for good.
And most importantly, I am a warrior for unity. What am I a warrior for?
Unity.
Unity is the ability for all makes and models to get along. You know what I mean? All belief systems to get along. And this is where we all become one. All become what? One. We're all in this together, and if we all come in together, this is where the true power lies. The power within, the power to unify, the power to get along, the power to have compassion, the power to have courage, the power to have strength. And this is what this is about. Leave it better. Say that with me.
Leave it better.
What do we leave better?
Everything
better as a result of us existing on this planet. If it is to be, it is up to me. Say that with me. If it is to be, it is up to me. And so what happens is we take personal responsibility for our actions, personal responsibility for our thoughts, personal responsibility for cleaning up our path to the best of our ability. If it is to be, it's up to me. One more time.
If it is to be, it's up to me.
Thank you. And so what happens is at the moment that we flip the switch is the moment of consciousness. The moment of what, everybody? Consciousness. Of mindfulness. What's the other word? Mindfulness. Of awareness. What's the other word? Awareness. Because we now become aware of the thinker. We now become aware of the thinker. But oftentimes there's moments that we lapse into the sleep of habituated automated thought. And all of a sudden we're part of the program. I am of the universe. Say that with me.
I am of the universe.
I am of the universe. You know, it's like speaking in ways that make sense to people. You know, it's so interesting. And I've met 3 enlightened beings in my life, and I truly believe they're enlightened. Frenchie and some of the people, some of my friends in this room met Eric Pepin, and Eric explains it this way. He says, he teaches micro-macro. My body is a universe. My body has a heart galaxy, has kidney galaxies, liver galaxy, eyeball galaxies. It keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And my thoughts affect my entire universe. If I think negative thoughts, what happens is emotions are chemicals. Say that with me.
Emotions are chemicals.
So if I think an angry thought, it makes an angry chemical. Then I have the angry emotion, and the emotion perpetuates the thought again. The thought creates the chemical again. The chemical makes the emotion again. And then the emotion makes the thought again. Thought, chemical, emotion. So it creates these little cycles that make the songs of our radio stations as we have these repetitive, habituated patterns. And so what happens is, if you think healthy thoughts, you're going to more than likely have a healthy what? Body. Right? You think angry thoughts, you're going to have a what? Angry body. And so it's having this ability to be aware of what goes on inside, because a chain is only as strong as its weakest what? Link. And surely your body has a weak link somewhere within it. Genetically, through your mother and your father, there's probably one link that's not as strong. So the angry thought will go right to attack on the weakest what? Link. So I think happy thoughts. Say that with me. Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. But ultimately, it seems so trite, you know what I mean? But it's so simple that sometimes the simplest things yield you the greatest results. The greatest results. And so being aware of our thoughts. So this is a universe, and say if I pull some blood out of my arm, and then all of a sudden this one cell is awake, and it puts its face up against the glass of the little syringe, and goes, sees me. And it screams. This little cell screams when it sees this face, these arms. What are those things? You know, what are those things coming out? I saw these things. And somebody puts it back into my arm. And it tries to tell all the other cells, I saw these things. I saw this thing. I don't know what it was. I saw this thing. And I can't explain it. Everybody goes, what are you talking about? There's nothing out there. We live in this heart galaxy. That's all there is. And so then Pepin explained it this way. He said, now the speed of light. Say that with me. The speed of light. Anybody know how fast that is?
196,000 miles per second.
Per second, right? That's clipping pretty good, huh? 186,000 miles per second. And if we were to cross our galaxy from one edge to the other, how long would that take?